I think most reasonable people might agree that he's at least incompetent and maybe, just maybe, doesn't give a shit. Doesn't give a shit, which I admire in a person and which would explain a lot of these bad results. So rather than be just another mindless religious robot, mindlessly and aimlessly and blindly believing that all of this is in the hands of some spooky, incompetent father figure who doesn't give a shit, I decided to look around for something else to worship, something I could really count on. And immediately, I thought of the sun. Happened like that. Overnight, I became a sun worshiper. Well, not overnight. You can't see the sun at night. The first thing the next morning, I became a sun worshiper. Several reasons. First of all, I can see the sun, okay? Yeah. Unlike some other gods I could mention, I can actually see the sun. I'm big on that. If I can see something, I don't know, kind of helps the credibility along, you know? So every day I can see the sun as it gives me everything I need: heat, light, food, flowers in the park, reflections on the lake, an occasional skin cancer, but hey, at least there are no crucifixions and we're not setting people on fire simply because they don't agree with us. Sun worship is fairly simple. There's no mystery, no miracles, no pageantry, no one asks for money, there are no songs to learn, and we don't have a special building where we all gather once a week to compare clothing. And the best thing about the sun, it never tells me I'm unworthy. Doesn't tell me I'm a bad person who needs to be saved, hadn't said an unkind word, treats me fine. So I worship the sun. But I don't pray to the sun. Know why? I wouldn't presume on our friendship. It's not polite. I've often thought people treat God rather rudely, don't you? Asking, trillions and trillions of prayers every day, asking and pleading and begging for favors. Do this, give me that, I need a new car, I want a better job. And most of this praying takes place on Sunday, his day off. It's not nice, and it's no way to treat a friend. But people do pray, and they pray for a lot of different things. You know, your sister needs an operation on her crotch. Your brother was arrested for defecating in a mall. But most of all, you'd really like to fuck that hot little redhead down at the convenience store. You know, the one with the eye patch and the club foot, huh? Can you pray for that? I think you'd have to. And I say, fine, pray for anything you want. Pray for anything, but what about the divine plan? Remember that? The divine plan. Long time ago, God made a divine plan. Gave it a lot of thought, decided it was a good plan, put it into practice. And for billions and billions of years, the divine plan has been doing just fine. Now you come along and pray for something. Well, suppose the thing you want isn't in God's divine plan. What do you want him to do? Change his plan? Just for you? Doesn't it seem a little arrogant? It's a divine plan. What's the use of being God if every rundown schmuck with a $2 prayer book can come along and fuck up your plan? And here's something else, another problem you might have. Suppose your prayers aren't answered. What do you say? Well, it's God's will. Thy will be done. Fine, but if it's God's will and he's going to do what he wants to anyway, why the fuck bother praying in the first place? Seems like a big waste of time to me. Couldn't you just skip the praying part and go right to his will? It's all very confusing. So to get around a lot of this, I decided to worship the sun. But as I said, I don't pray to the sun. You know who I pray to? Joe Pesci. Joe Pesci. Joe Pesci. Two reasons. First of all, I think he's a good actor, okay? To me, that counts. Second, he looks like a guy who can get things done. Joe Pesci doesn't fuck around. Doesn't fuck around. In fact, Joe Pesci came through on a couple of things that God was having trouble with. For years, I asked God to do something about my noisy neighbor with the barking dog. Joe Pesci straightened that cocksucker out with one visit. It's amazing what you can accomplish with a simple baseball bat. So I've been praying to Joe for about a year now. And I noticed something. I noticed that all the prayers I used to offer to God and all the prayers I now offer to Joe Pesci are being answered at about the same 50% rate. Half the time I get what I want, half the time I don't. Same as God, 50-50. Same as the four-leaf clover and the horseshoe, the wishing well and the rabbit's foot. Same as the mojo man. Same as the voodoo lady who tells you your fortune by squeezing the goat's testicles. It's all the same, 50-50. So just pick your superstition, sit back, make a wish, and enjoy yourself. And for those of you who look to the Bible for moral lessons and literary qualities, I might suggest a couple of other stories for you. You might want to look at The Three Little Pigs. That's a good one. Has a nice, happy ending. I'm sure you'll like that. Then there's Little Red Riding Hood, although it does have that X-rated part where the big bad wolf actually eats the grandmother, which I didn't care for, by the way. And finally, I've often always drawn a great deal of moral comfort from Humpty Dumpty. The part I like the best, all the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty Dumpty back together again. That's because there is no Humpty Dumpty and there is no God. None, not one, no God, never was. In fact, I'm gonna put it this way. If there is a God, may he strike this audience dead. See, nothing happened. Nothing happened. Everybody's okay. All right? Tell you what. I'll raise the stakes a little bit. If there is a God, may he strike me dead. See? Nothing happened. Oh, wait. Got a little cramp in my leg. And my balls hurt. Plus, I'm blind. Oh, now I'm okay again. Must have been Joe Pesci, huh? God bless Joe Pesci. Thank you all very much. Joe bless you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
And it wasn't complete. I knew the list wasn't complete, but it was the initial list. That first evening. Shit, piss, fuck, cunt, cocksucker, motherfucker, tits. And I knew I had ones that could never be said because they didn't mean anything else. There are some words you can say part of the time. Talking about an ass kicking. Ass is a word that's hardly even a curse word anymore, but it still is in a little way. I mean, most of the time ass is all right. On television you can say, well, you've made a perfect ass of yourself tonight. But you can't say, you half-ass. Only perfect asses allowed. You can use ass in the religious sense. If you happen to be the Redeemer, riding into town on one, perfectly all right. But don't get off and say, you know, the donkey hurt my ass. Sometimes. That's the way it is. Bitch, another word, another animal word, too. Bitch. Bitch is all right on television if you happen to be the lady from the San Diego Zoo. You brought a bunch of little canines up to Johnny Carson, and this one the bitch, and blah, blah, blah. That's cool. Don't refer to the singer that way. Is that bitch gonna do another number? Animals are fine on TV, it's all right. I like to tell a story about a cock and a pussy and a beaver and a bitch and an ass. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. Get him out. Tits, of course, doesn't belong on a list like that, you know. Tits, you know. Too cheerful, nothing harmful, you know, no threat from that word. Tits. Tit is a cute little word, tit. Sure, any word I think that's spelled the same frontwards and backwards is cute as hell. I think Otto is a great name. I always like, here comes fucking Otto. We don't know if he's coming or going because he's fucking Otto, you know. I also like Otto because Otto is toot inside out. Just a hobby. But tit, cute word. Come on, tits. Can't say tits. You can say boobs. You can say boobs. Boobs starts in the same letter, boob. Like tit? No. You can say it. Tits, no good. Can't say tits. Boobs. In fact, boobs is an answer on Match Game. I had boobs, Gene. Boobs, $200. Holy shit. Can't say tits. Nice tits on the singer, huh, Ed? No. But you can go like this. Hey, she's really built. You know, you can't say. You can say teats. Teats is okay if you're on at 5 in the morning and a cow is your guest. But you can't say jugs, you know, or well, you got to pull the cow's knockers, Dan. Now, Tits also says, well, it sounds to me like a snack anyway. Doesn't it sound so? Give me the Nabisco, new Nabisco double wrapped tits, man. Pass the tits, would you, Dean? Say, these things are responding. Just a few for while I'm watching TV tonight. Let me ask you a personal question. Have you ever tried to fart and blow your nose at the same time? You can't do them together, can you? It's like you're afraid you'll lose complete control. And wind up cleaning far more of the house than you had intended to. Yeah, I got little things over here. This is my office over here. You notice that? It's got to be my office, right? Shit, if that's my job, it's got to be my office. Looks like an office to me. Got the water cooler here. That's the first thing I always looked for when I worked in an office, The water cooler. Little place to hang out in between periods of making believe I was working. Actually, it's just a little place for my stuff. You gotta have that. Gotta have a little place to put your stuff during the day, during the evening, whatever it is, don't you? Sure. Everybody's gotta have a little place for their stuff. That's all life is about. That's the meaning of life. Trying to find a place to keep your stuff. That's all your house is. Think of it. That's all your house is. It's a place to keep your stuff. If you didn't have so much goddamn stuff, you wouldn't need a house. You could just walk around all the time. That's all your house is. It's a pile of stuff with a cover on it. That's all your house is. It's a place to keep your stuff while you go out and get more stuff. Sometimes you gotta move. Sometimes you gotta move. You gotta get a bigger house. Why? Too much stuff. Now, sometimes you go on vacation. You gotta bring some of your stuff with you. Can't take all your stuff. Just the stuff you really like. The stuff that fits you good that month. You gotta take a smaller version of your stuff. Say you're gonna go to Honolulu for 2 weeks. 2 weeks in Honolulu, you gotta take 2 big bags of stuff. You get to Honolulu, you fly halfway across an ocean. You get to Honolulu, get in the hotel room, and you put away your stuff. That's the first thing you do in a hotel room is put away your stuff. I put some stuff here, I put some stuff there. You put your stuff over there, I'll put my stuff over here. Here's another place, you put some stuff here. Here's another place over here. Hey, we got more places than we got stuff. We're gonna have to buy more stuff. But you put your stuff away, and you know that you're a long way from home, and you don't quite feel 100% at home, but you know that you must be okay because you do have some of your stuff with you. And you begin to relax, feel okay. That's when your friend from Maui calls up, says, hey, why don't you come over to Maui for the weekend, spend a couple of nights over here. Say, oh, shit. Now what do I bring? Can't bring all this stuff. Right, you've got to bring an even smaller version of your stuff. Just enough stuff for a weekend on Maui. And you go over to Maui, and you're really spread out. Now, you've got shit all over the world. You got stuff in the mainland, stuff in Honolulu, you got stuff with you. Supply lines are getting longer and harder to maintain. But you get over there to Maui, and they give you a little place to sleep, Little windowsill, and you put your stuff, because you don't have much stuff now, on the windowsill. You put your favorite stuff. Your jumbo-sized Visine, your trim nail clippers, your Odor Eater's 45-day guarantee, and your Afrin 12-hour decongestant nasal spray. And you begin to relax, That's when your friend says, hey, I think tonight we'll go over the other side of the island, visit my friend, maybe stay over. Oh, shit. No! What do you bring?
Well, now you just bring the things you know you're gonna need. Money, keys, comb, wallet, lighter, hanky, pen, cigarettes, contraceptives, Vaseline, whips, chains, whistles, dildos, and a book. Honey, did you fart? Not me. I thought you farted. Not me. That's not even one of my farts. I've got 4 farts, and that's not one of mine. I've got my Heineken's fart. I got my broccoli fart, my rice pudding fart, and my non-dairy creamer fart. And that's not one of my farts. I know. The dog farted. Tippy, why did you fart? Look at him. He knows he farted. I've seen his asshole open up. I seen it. Well, I happen to be looking at his asshole by chance. What kind of a question is that? I thought he was doing them deep breathing exercises. You see, dogs have nothing to do. There's no job description for a dog. They're forced to wait for something to happen that they can get in on. If you do something, they'll be glad to join you. But they rarely initiate any activity on their own. They're just waiting. Waiting and waiting and waiting. Waiting to come in, waiting to go out, waiting to eat, waiting to crap, waiting to wake up, waiting to sleep, waiting to go upstairs, waiting to go downstairs. Sometimes they're just waiting to wait. You ever seen a dog just standing there? He don't know what he's waiting for. But if it happens, he'll be ready. Just a waiting and a waiting. Waiting for you to come home. They don't understand time. Dog doesn't know the difference between an hour and a half or next week. He thinks you're going to be gone forever. That's the only time period dogs really understand. Forever. That's how long they think everything lasts. That's how long they think everything takes. Forever and ever. Did you ever scratch your dog behind the ears? Oh boy, they love that, huh? Oh boy, you're scratching your doggy behind the ears and he really loves that. And you're looking at him and everything. And when you finally stop, he looks at you like you're a criminal. He thought it was going to go on and on and on. Same thing when you feed them. As soon as they get finished, they say, where the fuck's the food? They thought it was the loaves and the fishes. It was going to last forever and ever. Dog don't know. They must think we're going to be gone forever. Otherwise, why would they act the way they do when we finally get home? Oh boy, 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 oh boy. I thought you were never going to come home. I thought you were never going to come home. I thought you were never going to come home. I thought you were never going to come home. I didn't know what to do. You know what? I didn't know how to operate the can opener. How do you operate the can opener? I didn't know what to do, man. What do you push it down? I couldn't think of it. You know what? You know what I did? I took a can of dog food and I rolled it down the hill and hoped a truck ran it over. That's what I could think of, man. Ooh, really hungry, man. I mean, they'll do that if you even just forgot your hat. You come back in 8 seconds. Oh boy, I thought you were never going to come home. I thought you were never going to come home. I was going to eat your bird. I couldn't find the bird. Where the fuck's the bird? And you ate the bird. Will you stop it? I was just here. God, they get you mad sometimes. Don't they? You ever get mad at your dog? And you feel really dumb when you get all the way to work and you're still pissed at your pet. What's the matter, Dan? Well, the dog, goddamn it, never mind. He chewed the legs off everything. Okay, I'll see you at lunch.
Yes, you're all going to die. Didn't mean to remind you of it, but it is on your schedule. Yes, probably won't happen when you want. Usually comes along when you're not expecting. Generally, you have your stamp collection out, you know.
Now?
No. Just want a little time to put away your hinges, you know. No. There's a time to die, and it's okay, you know. It's really okay. Nobody wants to die. Nobody. Well, you know, most people don't want to die. Nobody wants to die. Boy, if you think being sick is no fun, dying is really a pain in the ass. Nobody wants to die. People don't mind being dead. Being dead is great. But getting dead. Nobody wants to get dead. So I hope I don't die. I wonder how often we think that, you know? It's just under the surface, isn't it? You go out for the day, going out of your house. You say, I hope I don't die. It would really spoil the circus if I were to die. Geez, I hope I don't die. Comedians don't want to die. It's only a metaphor, but it's so true of all of us. We don't want to die out there. A comic's going to die. I don't want to die. Geez, I was dying out there. I was dying. It was death out there. And it was like a morgue. Oh, I don't want to die. Of course, if the comedian doesn't die, you know, if he succeeds, if he makes you laugh, then he can say, I killed him. I killed him. So it's either me or you know. Just like on the freeway. Yeah, dying shouldn't be that bad. It shouldn't be that bad. We're all going to do it. It's one of the few fair things in life. Everybody catches it once. And dying should be fun. There should be some sort of a look ahead. I mean, after all, when you die, you're going to find out where you go. Haven't we been wondering about that a long time? Where the hell do we go? Isn't that the biggest thing we have to wonder about? Where the hell do you go? I don't know. Joe thinks he knows. I know Joe thinks he knows, but Joe don't know. Where do we go? Nobody knows. Well, I think sometimes you go where you think you're going to go. Whatever you think you're going to do, that's where you're probably going to go. If you keep saying you're going to go somewhere, chances are you might go there. You ever hear those guys say, I'm going to hell, don't pray for me. Don't pray for me, I'm going to hell. He is. You go where you want to go. I think when you die, your soul goes to a garage in Buffalo. When Monty Hall dies, he'll go behind door number 4. That's it, where you want to go. No, nobody wants to die. And you know, part of the reason we don't want to die is because of that goddamn funeral. We've seen it. We know how bad news it is. That funeral is no fun. Man, if I don't like other people's funerals, I know I'm not going to like my own. There's no way I can get behind my own funeral. I'm going to be lying there in a casket. They're going to put me in the box. Going to put me in a convertible with the top down. You know that's embarrassing, lying there. And everybody's looking at you. You're dead. And they're looking. You're just lying there still. People coming over going. They don't know that you're lying there with short pants on and no back in your jacket. Embarrassed. And sometimes they'll come over, you know, some people, it depends on your religion and so forth, but they do come right over to the casket a lot of times and they'll go like this. And they're silent for a moment. And what they're doing while they're silent is they're subtracting their age from your age. So they get a rough estimate on what they have left. And they get up and they say, don't he look good? Don't he look good? You crazy? He's dead! I know, but he never looked that good. Oh, they say the nicest things about you. They say the nicest things when you die. Your popularity goes straight up when you die. They say the greatest things there are that can be said. They'll even make stuff up if they have to. Well, he was a real asshole, but he meant well, you know? He's a well-meaning asshole. Yes, you get so popular when you die. All the flowers you get, think of the flowers you get when you die. You get more flowers when you die than you got in your whole life. All your flowers arrive at once, too late. The guys will say, oh, yeah, well, you know, Bill is dead. Yeah, poor Bill. Poor Bill is dead, yeah. Poor Dave? Yeah, poor Dave is gone now. Ed? Yeah, poor Ed is gone. Dan? That motherfucker is still alive, isn't he? I wish he would die so I could like him. Reincarnation is another aspect of death, and a lot of people will tell you little tales about it. Reincarnation, coming back. A lot of folks are sure of it. They can come back. You come back as something, I don't know. Does it seem right to you that it would work? I mean, mathematically, it doesn't seem to work. Because originally on this earth, we only had, well, let's say 6 people. I know we had 2, but it's a controversial number. Let's say at one time there were only 6 of us, about. 6 people, 6 souls. And those 6 people died, and those souls went back to the staging area, and new people were born, and those 6 souls came back. We still only have 6 souls. Now we have 4 billion people claiming to have souls. Where are all these extra souls coming from? Someone is printing up souls. And it lowers their value. The more souls there are, the less they're worth, it would seem. Well, somebody's got to think of this shit, you know. How about the perfect murder? I've thought sometimes about the perfect murder. You know what you do? You pick up one person by the ankles and you beat another person to death with him. And they both die and there's no murder weapon. What happened here, Sergeant? Looks like a pedestrian accident to me. It must have been moving at quite a clip. Of course, if you should be caught with this perfect murder in progress or even after the fact, if you should be caught, you might wind up in death row. Death row. That's more than just fun, ain't it? I mean, this cat's there. Death row, man. Oh, well, you got that one meal, but that's not much of a consolation, is it? You get to order a meal. Big deal. Why don't you leave me alone? I'm not hungry, man. They give you that one last meal. I say you could have some fun with that last meal. I mean, if you work it right, they got to give you whatever you want. I mean, short of elephant steak. You know? They don't want to start on a new elephant just for one guy. But they got to give you pretty much what you want. That's part of the humanity of what they're going to do to you. Yeah, you could just order something, you know, like maybe, well, shit, you tell them you can't decide. That's it. I can't decide. I don't know. I don't know if I want steak or lobster, you know? I mean, I really love them both, and I honestly can't decide. Could they kill you? I don't think they could kill you if you honestly couldn't decide. Lie detector, truth serum, the man honestly doesn't know what he wants. We can't very well kill him. We can't drag him down the last mile screaming, I don't know what I want. You gotta give him a chance, and then well, man lives. Imagine if you worked it out and you kept it going 6 months. Man still alive, can't decide on meal. 3 years, 8 years, and then finally you're an honest person, so you tell them when you do figure it out, and you say, I've decided what I'd like. I think I'll have steak. Okay? How did you want that? Well, my feeling is if you're gonna die, you know, or if you know, hey, die big. Die big. Nobody wants to just pass away. You don't want to be a euphemism, do you? Nobody wants to pass away. You know, Arnie passed away. Oh, really? Yes. Well, I didn't know that. Well, that's the idea. On the other hand, Dave died. Oh, yes, I heard about Dave dying. That's true. I say die big. Give it a shot, man. Go out big. It's your chance. Die big. Work in a few posthumous reflexes for your friends. Give them a show before you go. Entertain and uplift and instruct those you are leaving behind. When you die, give them a few posthumous reflexes. You know, the body does store electricity up. There's a certain storage of electricity, and even a dead body, a corpse, will occasionally go. And I say, if you have that potential after you're dead, use it properly. Pre-program. Before you die, pre-program some posthumous reflexes that will be entertaining to those you've left behind. Do something to capture their imagination. Roll over on the autopsy table. That's nice. Cross your legs, scratch your balls, do something. Now, the only reason that I even suggest that you have a choice about what you can do at the moment of death is a very little known and very little understood part of the death process called the 2-minute warning. Many people are not aware of it at all. The 2-minute warning, just as in football. 2 minutes before you die, you receive an audible warning.
2 minutes, get your shit together.
The reason we don't know about it is because the only people who hear it die. And I don't think we'd believe someone anyway if he told us he received his 2-minute warning, would you? Some asshole on the bus?
Hey, I just got my 2-minute warning.
You'd think it was a coach out on the town, you know? But no, the 2-minute warning does arrive. And I say use that time to entertain, to leave something behind. Do something with the 2 minutes. Hey, if nothing else, give a speech. Little 2-minute speech. We can all give a little 2-minute speech. Just pick some subject you're very fond of and talk about it for 2 minutes. I mean, tell them. It's your last chance to tell them anything. So tell them, got 2 minutes, and I mean wax eloquent, rise, bring it to the rafters, and then at the moment of the end you say, if this is not the truth, may God strike me dead.